Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving into a topic that's absolutely critical for building stronger connections in both our personal and professional lives: effective listening. Now, we all know listening is important, but how often do we truly engage in active listening? Most of the time, we think we are listening, but we are really just waiting for our turn to speak. So, in this video, we're going to explore what active listening really means, why it's so powerful, and how mastering this skill can improve your relationships and communication. Let's start with something basic but often misunderstood: hearing versus listening. Hearing is automatic. It's what happens when sound enters your ears. It's passive. But active listening is an entirely different process. It involves deliberately focusing on what the other person is saying, understanding the message behind the words, and responding thoughtfully. It's not about waiting for your turn to speak or offering quick solutions. It's about truly being present. Active listening requires concentration and empathy. It's about stepping into the other person's shoes and seeing things from their perspective. It means acknowledging their feelings, their concerns, and the emotions behind their words. One of the biggest reasons we struggle with effective listening is that we often listen to reply, not to understand. Think about it. How often are you in a conversation and instead of fully paying attention, you are already thinking about what you are going to say next? This can create a disconnect because we miss key parts of the message, especially the emotions or subtle cues that aren't directly spoken. Listening to understand means taking a step back from your own thoughts and focusing entirely on the other person's message. It's about resisting the urge to jump in with advice, opinions, or even judgments. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do in a conversation is to simply listen and give the other person space to express themselves without interruption. Now, here's something we can't ignore: nonverbal communication. It's said that over 90% of communication is nonverbal. This includes things like facial expressions, tone of voice, eye contact, and body posture. When you're actively listening, your nonverbal cues are just as important as the words you say. So, how can we improve our nonverbal communication when listening? First of all, eye contact. Maintaining eye contact is one of the strongest signals that you are engaged. It shows the other person that they have your full attention. Facial expressions. Smiling, nodding, or even raising your eyebrows can signal that you are following along with the conversation. These cues show empathy and understanding. Body posture. Leaning slightly forward or angling your body toward the speaker shows that you're interested. On the flip side, crossing your arms or looking away can make you seem closed off or disinterested. Your body language should match the message you want to convey, that you're fully engaged, present, and open to listening. One of the best ways to show you're actively listening is through paraphrasing. Paraphrasing involves restating what the other person has said in your own words. For example, if someone says, "I've been feeling really overwhelmed with work lately," you might respond with, "It sounds like you are under a lot of pressure right now." This simple act shows the speaker that you are not only paying attention, but you also understand their feelings or point of view. Another technique is reflecting. Reflecting is a bit like paraphrasing, but focuses more on the emotional tone. If someone is upset, you might say something like, "I can hear the frustration in your voice." This acknowledges not just their words, but also the emotions behind them. Why is this important? Paraphrasing and reflecting can help avoid miscommunication. Often, We assume we know what the other person means, but paraphrasing gives them the chance to correct any misunderstandings. It ensures that both parties are on the same page, reducing the chances of conflict or confusion. It's also important to remember that active listening means listening without judgment. We often have opinions or thoughts that we want to share, but when we judge or interrupt, we're not really listening. We are filtering the speaker's message through our own biases or experiences, which can distort their intended meaning. Interruptions, even well meaning ones, can derail the conversation and make the speaker feel unheard or invalidated. So, when you're practicing active listening, make a conscious effort to listen without interjecting. Let the other person finish their thoughts before you respond. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say, but it does mean you're showing them respect and giving their words the space they deserve. Miscommunication happens more often than we'd like to admit, and many times it's because we're not actively listening. We assume we understand someone's point, or we make judgments before they fully express themselves. This can lead to misunderstandings, arguments, or feelings of frustration on both sides. To prevent miscommunication, it's crucial to focus on clarifying and asking questions. If something is unclear, don't be afraid to ask for more information. You might say, "Could you explain what you meant by that?" Or, "I want to make sure I understand. Could you clarify this point?" It's much better to ask for clarification upfront than to let assumptions build and potentially cause a breakdown in communication. At the core of active listening is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. When you're actively listening, you're not just hearing the words, you are connecting with the speaker's emotions and experiences. Empathy helps build trust and strengthens relationships because it shows the other person that you genuinely care about what they're going to say and about what they're going through. Whether they're sharing a problem, celebrating a success, or expressing frustration, empathy allows you to be there for them in a meaningful way. You can demonstrate empathy by acknowledging their emotions. For example, "I can see that this is really hard for you," or "It sounds like you're really excited about this." These statements validate their feelings and encourage them to open up even more. Effective listening is one of the most powerful tools we have for improving communication and building stronger relationships. By practicing active listening, focusing on nonverbal cues, using techniques like paraphrasing and reflecting, and listening without judgment, you can avoid miscommunication and create deeper connections with others. Remember, the goal isn't just to hear, it's to understand. Thank you for watching this video on my channel. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Let's keep working on thriving together, one conversation at a time.